The political dinosaurs at the House of Lords block the Brexit Bill, the European Union delay the trade talks, and Donald Trump comes to help the United Kingdom. So literally yesterday I was thinking this is going to be a quiet week. Nothing's going to be happening with Brexit or anything else. Boy, I was wrong. A lot has happened over the last 24 hours. So let's start with the House of Lords. Yes, they're back to cause more trouble. So as you know, the Brexit Bill has already been approved by the House of Commons, and so the 31st of January, the deadline to leave the EU, is on the table, but then now it's the job of the House of Lords to also approve it. Now, the Lords can't completely cancel a bill, but what they can do is keep delaying it by sending it back. They can create more amendments, add random amendments to it and sending it back to the Commons, and create a weird cycle. Yesterday they had an issue, these peers, with the citizens' rights aspects of the withdrawal agreement, but also the European Court of Justice. Now, the first issue is citizens' rights. They say that the digital form to prove that as a citizen you can stay in the UK after the transition period is not enough. People need a piece of paper. People need a physical evidence because it's basically 1912. And Home Office, even the bureaucrats at the Home Office hit back and said, it's 2020. Actually, the physical form is actually not as secure. If you have a digital form on your phone, on your computer, it's more secure. So this is the amendment they added. They want to add a physical, actual piece of paper for the European citizens when they want to stay in the UK after Brexit. And this is the moment when the amendment was passed.
There have voted contents 270, not contents 229. So the contents have it.
It was a bit weird watching the House of Lords doing the votes, because we're used to the House of Commons with the whole atmosphere, the environment, everyone going, wee. And the House of Lords, it's like half of them are sleeping anyway. The others are just like very proper and polite. So it's not really fun to watch, but as much as the Commons. But the other thing they have an issue with is the European Court of Justice. Now, the part of the withdrawal agreement says that it's now up to the UK government and the UK as a country to decide which laws they want to withdraw from the or step aside from the European Court of Justice, and the Lords basically want us to be tied to the ECJ. And yeah, I mean, that's not Brexit. So the first amendment, the citizens' rights, was passed by 41, a majority of 41, and the ECJ one was passed by the majority of 36. And as you can see in this article, the Home Office's response when it comes to the physical copy say that it could get lost, it could be stolen, it could be damaged, it could be tampered with, but the digital approach is more secure and more modern. But good luck telling that to the dinosaurs at the House of Lords. Now, at the same time, the European Union, or the European Commission, have decided to basically stop thinking about their own strategy and delay the trade talks, because it was supposed to be the 31st of January we'll be leaving, and literally days after, in February, both sides would get back to the table and negotiate a trade deal. And I'm loving the irony, because there was a time back in 2016 when everybody was criticizing the UK government and the Brexit department because it was a bit of a mess. They didn't even have an office. They were having meetings in Costa or Starbucks, and they were saying, look at the European Union, how organized they are, how bureaucracy works. They know their position, they know how to actually implement it, how to negotiate. This time, they're not ready. Brussels are definitely not ready for the trade talks, so they've said that we need a bit of a delay to actually find out what our position is and how we're going to actually get our team together to sort it out. At the same time, we've had some Conservative MPs, including Peter Bone, complaining about this situation. He said that I'm totally mystified by the EU, and I still think there are some people over there who still think that we're not leaving on the 31st of January. They have known for some time that we're leaving, so it is laughable that they do not yet have any plan except for delay. Boris Johnson has made it clear that if negotiations are not completed by the end of the year, then we will leave on WTO terms. Fellow Conservative MP Michael Fabricant has also said that I don't know whether this delay is a reflection of the famed inefficiency of the EU or just their bureaucracy. But this will not please France, Germany or Holland, whose economies are dependent on the huge UK market for their exports. Well, that's a very fair point, because especially after yesterday when the IMF had to release a statement, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people at the top of the IMF were not comfortable to be doing this, because this is the organization that's been doing a lot of prediction when it comes to the UK economy post-Brexit, saying, well, the UK are going to go down, everyone's going to lose their jobs, and that's it, it's the end of the world. Now, the IMF have now released a new report showing that the UK economy is doing much better than any other country, including Germany and France. The findings of the two studies that was published by the IMF show that the UK is now on track for 2 years of growth and is anticipated to outperform Germany, France and Italy. The economy is expected to expand by 1.4% this year and by 1.5% in 2021. This marks an optimistic outlook for the UK's post-Brexit future after last year's growth that was recorded at 1.3%. Now you can imagine how happy and smug this made Boris Johnson look when he was meeting the leaders of these countries this week. This is the speech that Boris Johnson made about the UK economy.
The truth is that in 2020, the UK is the ultimate one-stop shop for the ambitious, growing international economy. If you want investment in a new project or enterprise, just hop on the tube, one stop from here, and you'll be in the heart of Canary Wharf, where, along with its older sibling in the City of London, trillions of pounds of capital are being raised for every venture you can think of, from French construction to African telecoms to American cancer-curing drugs. In every currency that you've heard of, and some that have only been recently invented. It may give you some idea of the scale of the financial services in London when I say that Canary Wharf alone is a bigger banking centre than the whole of Frankfurt. We have the tech. We have edtech, midtech, fintech, biotech, green tech, nanotech, tech of all kinds. We have by far the biggest tech sector anywhere in this hemisphere.
Yeah, basically, in short, the tech industry is big. All the tech. At the same time, we have the President of the United States, Donald Trump, who is now praising the UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson and the country in general because of the economy. And President Trump wants to actually accelerate the negotiations with the UK when it comes to the trade deal between the US and the UK. And he wants it to basically, both sides to get around the table and sort it out by this summer. So which is good news. And he's even actually praised the PM for the performance of the country and the economy in general.
And we look forward to negotiating a tremendous new deal with the United Kingdom. Have a wonderful new Prime Minister and wants very much to make a deal, as they say, to protect our security and our economy.
Now, all this shows this is evidence that a lot of people who from the north, from Wales and across the country, who decided to vote Conservative for the first time and for Boris Johnson, this was a risk that they were taking, and they were being proven right. And I never liked this whole the arrogance and the patronising mentality that you get from the London bubble. I mentioned something in my video yesterday about the fact that the government are considering sending the House of Lords, of all places, to the north as a symbol to say that we are reconnecting the north to politics. And I said this is not the right approach. This is patronising. It's the House of Lords. If you want to send anything up there, send the whole Parliament, send the whole of Whitehall somewhere, whether it's Birmingham or Newcastle. You can't just send the House of Lords. It's stupid anyway. Some people complained. They basically accused me of being showing my true face. Apparently I'm an anti-North Londoner. Yeah, okay, sure. So I need to clarify one thing. So when I lived in the north, when I lived in Manchester for a few years, there was the whole huge difference between the arrogance of the London bubble mentality, the people who think that basically anything outside M25 is just not worth it. And these are the people who want to be patronising to the north. The north do not need to be patronised. If you want to truly help, anyway, it's not just about the north. It also includes Wales, West Midlands, anywhere else for that matter. Anywhere that's not London, basically. Either if you want to reconnect into politics, as I said before, devolution and actually decentralised powers. If you want to send parts of Parliament, send the whole of the House of Parliament and Whitehall somewhere. Don't just send the House of Lords. Of all things, the House of Lords is the most pointless thing that you could send to the north. And I can assure you that people who say, well, it's a symbol, it makes us feel good. Yeah, after 6 months, you'll forget about it. This would not solve anything. And this doesn't show my true face of being anti-North. I'm actually saying this because I'm pro-North. So I have to clarify this so many times. But it doesn't really matter because there are a lot of people who are pro-centralisation and they're statists. They think, that in reality, everything should be run from Westminster, which is stupid. So we're going to be fighting against that on this channel forever until we get what we want. True people power. Anyway, we have our Brexit victory rallies on the 31st of January. Hopefully the House of Lords will calm down. Hopefully I'll see you guys in Parliament Square on the 31st. We're going to have the countdown at 11 p.m. and make sure that you get your Brexit t-shirts ready. We have the obviously UK Independence Day, 31st of January 2020. We also have various other designs that you could check out. The previous ones that we had before, other merchandise. I'll put the link in the description, so check it out. And if you enjoy the content, make sure that you click subscribe and click on the bell next to it so you get notified. We have a daily show at 5:45 p.m. I'm Tousi, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with a new video.